Leandro have to shoot. That's not going to count. Shot clock expires in the background. Can you hear the voice of Scout? Shot clock expires in the background. Can you hear the voice of Scout? Shot clock expires in the background. competition. They averaged 22.8 points a game in the last term. Luala Chul from outside, his third treble of the night. That time Liafa. Golding can tie it up off this possession or take the lead. They'll get another chance. Golding's open. Draws the foul on Chi. 3 free throws to come.
He hits you and then he grabs you. You hit him and he grabs you. What's the replay?
Here's the response from Liafa. Step back triple. That's all the kinds of pretty.
I mean, before he took that shot, he's 2 of 11. He didn't shoot it like a guy who's 2 of 11. Just stepped straight into it with rhythm. And down the other end, Joe Luala Chul. So you've made a few. Just got to be a little bit more of a distraction than that. Just Golding. Little head fake to get Joe Chi thinking about it, and then drew him closer and then was able to draw the foul. I'm sure Joe Chi thought it was a foul though. There it is here. That's a foul. Can't do that. Or was it? From that angle. Yeah, he's grabbed him on the wrist. That's a foul.
So his first made 3 of the night, went to 13th of all time alongside Oscar Foreman. Needs 4 more to equal Darryl Pearce, the great Darryl Pearce.
Nice man.
In 12th position in all-time threes made. Chi with authority.
Well, he learned his lesson in the first half, didn't he? Big fella, quick up and in with authority.
Nice pass, and there's Luala Chul at the other end with a flush of his own.
Joe Chi's got to be upset with his teammates. If you're being asked to hard show, you hard show when you're released to get back. You need someone there to help out.
Melbourne lead by 1. Liafa. Got beyond Golding. That's a tough finish. Isaiah Liafa now into double figures. Broke off. Picked off the pass. Chi. Look out. His foul.
He took it strong. Drew the foul.
Black 22. Blocking foul.
Throw down from Chi over the top of Peatling, Luala Chul and Illy. Good find from Creek. Always knows where the big fella is. And Joe Luala Chul provided the response down the other end. And meanwhile, in the half court, Isaiah Liafa's been making plays, and a lot of them have been on Chris Golding. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they don't want to be making those plays on the perimeter against Shayeli, against Matthew Dellavedova, against Caleb Agata, putting Chris Golding in a lot of those situations. And Dean Vickerman here pulls Golding out, reinserts Caleb Agata, despite the import being on 4 fouls.
She makes the second, no burgers. Those poor kids, they just want to taste that meat patty and the cheese and the buns. Not yet. Another Phoenix take the lead back. Looking to go 2-0 against Melbourne for the season. Porty snatches it out of the air and scores. 76 each. First versus third on the table, and it has lived up to that billing. Munford. Did he step out of bounds?
Oh, that double dribble. Just gathered it and was thinking about the drop-off pass, and the little window of opportunity to thread it between the two closed. He thought, I'll just have a crack at having another dribble here. Unfortunately, that's not how the great James Naismith said the game needs to be played.
Shout out to James, watching from upstairs. Nearly downhill. And called for a hook.
Would you, Simon Mitchell called attention to the sort of push-off, fend-off foul, the previous possession on Hook Porty. Thought it could have been whistled. And the squeaky wheel got oil. with the call on Newley. Watch his left arm. Contact there with Brokoff's face. Michael Aylen all over him.
And he didn't need to do it. It was there. He had the positioning. Just feeling that contact. Maybe not aware who it was or the position they were in. Tried to get a little bit more of an advantage in protection of the ball.
Garda playing with 4 fouls. Did well to go straight up. Forced Adnam into a tough jumper. Melbourne look to get themselves back in front. White thought about the 3. Now a Garda, top of the key. Step back, foot inside the line, knocks it down.
I'll live with that. Southeast Melbourne. Long 2 contested pull-up. Knocks it in. Agata is 3 of 10 from the field now for his 8 points.
Creek had room to fire away. Mitch Creek up to 20 points.
That's his second knockdown from 3-point territory.
Hasn't been as dramatic, but still just as effective for Mitch Creek in this one.
Wow, miss. Nothing but fresh air that time from Agata. Munford beat him off the dribble, feeds Chi underneath. 2 more for the Phoenix, and they've scored the last 5. They're making a move of their own as we come up to 5 minutes remaining. Just 3 points for Dellavedova. That Newley baseline, it was a tough pass. They give the ball back to the Phoenix.
The turnovers are an issue. 14 turnovers now for Melbourne United. Looks like they're just trying to force the issue a little too much too early.
Garda. Aggressive baseline. Good move. Delay game warning on Caleb Agata, and you may have just seen the score change. That Mitch Creek 3 from about a minute ago has been downgraded to a 2.
Dean Vickerman takes the opportunity to reinsert Chris Golding. They run so many of their actions in the half court for either Joe Luala-Chul or Golding, and with neither of them on the floor those last few minutes, they didn't really know where to go. It was a little clunky offensively. Golding back in the game.
It was, but they were able to just find a way in that clunky fashion to just hang in there and stay with it, give their 2 guys a bit of a spell, and come back on now, looking to get their offense going.
A Creek off the window.
Tough.
That is tough.
With the right hand too. And just wanting to let everyone know it was with the right hand as well.
Now he has 21. His team up by 2. Hook Cordy. Impressive. He looks pumped.
He did. There was some Mitchell, I heard him yelling for a travel. And it looked a little awkward, but there you see the spin move. And to me, the travel, we can't quite see it on that one. And I don't think it was a travel. I think the only thing is a suggestion that maybe that left pivot foot might have slid a little.
Both these coaches have their premier big man sitting on the pine right now. 4 minutes to play. 1 bucket game. Hook Porty and Ashley both doing good things out there. But Luala-Chul and Chi, both their coaches making decisions when to bring him in. It looks like Dean Vickerman's made that call right now.
Chi's looked good in this second half. And he's spent a bit of time on the bench, but when he's been out there, he's looked like a real problem. Getting to the spots, the rim protection. I don't think we'll see him out there for too long on the bench.
Adnam got into the paint. Nice pass out to Tarangi. He backs it back for Liartha. From well beyond the arc.
That's a guy that was 4 of 14 before that shot. Just shows the confidence and self-belief he has. A little step back from long range.
he sees Jack White play above the rim.
Beautiful pass from Golding. Just weighted it perfectly.
It's a good play where they load up the three guys on the other side. When you're hard showing, it's a long way for the help to come.
Ashley couldn't tip it in. The guarder off to the races. Disadvantage with numbers up ahead, but he wants to back in and scores!
The ref looks like he's waved it off. Chris Reed, the official along the baseline, signalled to cancel that. The United fans will not be happy. Here's the pass, and as Drewy says, there's no help because of the spacing on the other side. Tarangi and Adnan standing and watching. And then there's the whistle. Oh, geez, you could mount a good argument for that to count.
I think you can make an outstanding argument. At first look, it looked like there was two actions.
Not reviewable.
But you can't review.
It's not reviewable.
United with a sideline ball. A little over 3 minutes remaining in throwdown 14. Lawala Chul with one thing in mind. A career high night for JLA with 28 points.
Don't forget about the 7 rebounds, and that was one of the tough ones. Fading away with pressure. I'm not even so sure I'd put that in as a good shot, but he gets it to go down.
Ashley takes it at him at the other end. Back out for Liafa again from well beyond. That's short. Golding. Found his way out of trouble. Delavadova got past Adnam. White misses. Second time around. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Just patting the O boards and eventually comes up on the third occasion. Knocks it down, and some real decisions now for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. I really like what Mumford's been giving to him, and he's on the bench, as is Joe Chi, but there's the miss, and there's the short arm, and then finally on the third attempt, goes in.
87-85 in throwdown 14. Southeast Melbourne call a timeout. They've got some adjustments to make now.
Simon Mitchell's first adjustment is bringing Joe Chi into the game. In fact, you get the sense that's why he called the timeout. Didn't want any more time to come off the clock. Had Joe Chi walking towards the score table. And his squad's fallen behind. And you're right, Drewy. Xavier Mumford.
That's the one for me.
Yeah. He's been giving him something off those pick and roll actions. And he's in double figures, 4 of 6 from the field. He's got the 5 assists as well, and he's calling his Jets on the pine right now.
Big night at John Cain Arena. Eddie Betts enjoying the action. I hope you're enjoying it wherever you are around the world. And 22 seconds remaining, and if you think that you can score from full court, then jump online, enter now. The details are on your screen for the Latrobe Financial Sharp Shot. $50,000 available from halfway as well.
As Liam mentioned, Joe Sheep comes back into the game on that timeout.
Look at Shea Elliott. Terrier almost came up with that.
Great determination and effort. That's what he brings. The hands just so disruptive. And we see gets the hand in there and doesn't give up on the play. A hint of a foul as he takes his legs out.
And he's the best in the league at doing exactly that, Shea, like blowing up dribble handoffs. As a team, with Illy and Delavadova and Agata, they do that so well. But Illy, it's a real skill to blow up those actions.
Both teams in action again this weekend. Melbourne will play New Zealand on Sunday. The Phoenix with a home game against Brisbane on Saturday night at John Cain Arena. It's a matters at hand. 2 points the difference. Adnam into the lane. It jumps out.
I think they need Mumford in there with this increased pressure. that they're facing, Mumford, his ability to work the pick and roll and create off the bounce, I just think that maybe provide them with a counter.
Wala gets past Chi and gets upstairs.
Just went right by him. Single coverage, no double coming, and JLA makes him pay.
He's got a 30-piece for the night. He started the game. An outstanding touch. Creek.
Turn it up, Creaky. What was that? All sorts, and just throws up with the ball pressure, finds his way and gets the little floater to go in. Well, it's not a little floater, long floater.
It's back to 2. Golding turned the corner and lost it. Brokoff took it away from him. Liafa stepping back. Tough 3. That won't count.
Liafa shooting the ball like he's Steph Curry, 5 of 17, and
Here's Golding. Shows them how it's done.
well, that's the difference. They get it to the right man, find him. Not sure how he should be that open in the corner. Quick release, but you can't even let him get that off. And here's the just simple drive around Joe Chi. Just that's way too easy. I know the big fella might have some lateral problems. Now you can help out on some, and as we mentioned, when you saw Ryan Brokoff trying to help out on Luala Chul down low, but that man in these times of the game, but 5 of 17 is just for the upper is just not sure in the circumstances of what they're facing right now that that's the best option ahead of Mumford.
Well, Joe Luala-Chul, no doubt, will be our Foot Locker player of the game. But take a look at these numbers. With a 30-piece tonight to go with 8 rebounds. Look at the improvement in one season. Coming off the bench last year, the NBL Sixth Man of the Year, gets the starting opportunity the following season and has repaid the faith in spades.
Sure has. Turned into an absolute superstar of the league. Getting NBA attention as a result. You're right. I mean, that puts him really in the pole position for most improved player. Some other guys have taken some big leaps, but geez, to go from good to great like Joe Luala-Chul has done. So most improved player, he's in that MVP conversation. You can involve him in Defensive Player of the Year with his rim protection on this squad. I mean, he's having a spectacular season.
No doubt about it. And certainly right now, if you're voting on MVP, I think he'd probably get the nod with what we've seen. And
Crosscock says hello.
well, I think he's been spectacular as well, but this man here doing some extraordinary things.
I would suggest there might be some green and gold not too far away for Joe Luala-Chul as well if he keeps this form up.
Here is Mumford, finally back in the game.
Forces up a really difficult look. Now the Phoenix are going to have to start playing the foul game.
Melbourne's defense stepping up,
My word.
dominating in these final couple of minutes. Really, the only bucket the Phoenix got was when Creaky pulled a rabbit out of the hat on a very slow 5-second count.
It's also been there, obviously 28 points already in this quarter. We've been able to get it done, and Creek checks out of the game. And that's because they're just looking to play the foul game. And he's got to fall.
United safely inbound.
That's a tricky one. I think Mumford did that as well as he possibly could do. A hint of it unsportsmanlike, but you could see him just running next to him, and just a hint that there was a reasonable attempt, I suppose. Not sure what a reasonable attempt is in the playbook, but or in the rule book.
Free throws for Shea Ely. 7 points, 8 assists, 3 steals. Every team needs a Shea Ely.
You'd love to have him, and prepared to accept his role no matter what it is. Starter coming off the bench, doesn't seem to throw the toys out of the cot if it's not going his way. Really good guy to have in your program.
Phoenix down 6. They need a quick score. This trip up the floor. Chi from outside. Not sure that that's the look that they were after either.
Oh, I'm sure it's not the look that they were looking for. In fact, the last couple, we were calling for Mumford to come back on. He came on and 5 points down. He goes to the 3 ball and it looked like the lane was open. Just take what's given to you, take the 2. And instead, he throws up a wild one, and that time Chi throws up a wild one. Impressive by Melbourne United. After coming out of the blocks really hard, the way in which they were able to gather themselves, and even up the first few minutes after half-time, it looked like Phoenix was going to get on top, but they just showed great maturity in the way they go about it, and took a little bit of a prodding from the coach.
This is a big, big win for Melbourne. They were seriously challenged. Phoenix have shot themselves in the foot late in this game. And that will take care of it. From 14 up to 11 down to winners in throwdown 14. 94-87 the final score. And the series between the Phoenix and United tied away at 1 each.
It is, and as we said, great effort by Melbourne United, and worked their way back in and figured out the problems. They were presented with some challenges from Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and again, not one of those ones you'd put in the books as the greatest spectacular, but when we talk about our Foot Locker player of the game, I don't think there's any doubt that Joe Lawala-Chul, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 2 block shots, and he was outstanding.
He missed 2 shots, 11 of 13 from the field. Just didn't see it from a lot of that second and third quarter, but he set the tone for Melbourne off the opening tip and was huge in the fourth quarter to help them bring it home.
Top of the table, Melbourne United. That's their 10th win of the season. They've been 2-2 in their last 4. They've been a little patchy, but this is a big, big victory for them tonight.
Absolutely, and you could tell in that first few minutes that Melbourne United, this game meant a little bit more to them than just a run-of-the-mill regular season game, and as it should on the basis of what happened a few weeks ago when they last met. And the thing that, like I said, the thing that impressed me is the way they figured out their problems. They ran into some issues and were able to work their way through it. And that man on your screen, he is very good.
How real is the MVP conversation now?
Oh, absolutely.
Very, very real.
He's in that conversation well and truly. And right now, I know Corey Homicide Williams has been calling for it, but I don't like doing this, but I tend to agree with him that he's probably the front runner.
If you're awarding it off the last, even just the last 4 weeks, Liam, if there was a form MVP, he is the dominant player in this league.
Well, he's
right
been the
now.
best player on the best team. No doubt about that. On top of the table, Melbourne United. Cotton has been spectacular, but Lawala-Chul having some kind of year.
Here's Pete Hawley.
Well, guys, there's no surprise. Our Foot Locker player of the game, Joe Lawala-Chul, now